This trade you're seeing now is a completely avoidable stop loss because sure, we're in an uptrend, it made a higher high than the previous one and you want to catch the retracement, it left you in efficiency, whatever you want. But don't go selling just because you see 2 black candles. Don't let FOMO get the best of you because that's what kills a trader. You need to be mentally strong. You shouldn't sell as soon as you see a rejection, a candle, just because you feel like entering the market. A trader needs to be strong-minded. Wait for confirmation, so let's move forward. This was already a stop you could have avoided. We can see that here, finally, the market changes dominance and gives us a more concrete confirmation. So yes, it's a higher high than the previous one. It can retrace, our outlook is correct, but the dominance has changed because this high was broken by these buyers. We were bullish from here. These buyers are overtaken by the sellers, so the market shows us that it's starting to gain strength for a downward move, and where could it return? This is the last buy candle before the sell that changed the dominance. So here, yes, we are at the top, and therefore selling makes sense, but unlike before, we have a more concrete confirmation, namely a change in dominance. As always, stop above the rejection, take profit without overdoing it. Here, for example, maybe to close this structure that was left open, because let's remember, this is a retracement, the overall trend is bullish, so we're going against the general direction. There's no point in being greedy like many people do, setting it here, because then you might end up missing out on a lot of profit. If something like this takes off, you lose out on a great risk-reward ratio for very little. You're bullish, so this is a retracement. And I explain all these concepts in much more detail and with much more time here. I've already made a video on the channel where I explain my entire strategy, how I operate in the market, and what confirmations I look for, which is completely free. I'll also be posting a lot of other videos where I'll explain all the concepts I use, going through them thoroughly one by one. You should take a look here. So let's move forward. We can see that our buy to sell, the last little candle, is working perfectly and reacting very, very well. And here we see that it reached our take profit, which as we said before was this structure, because we said there's no point in being greedy and setting it lower, as that wouldn't make sense. Then it went even lower, but to tell you the truth, I would have closed here because if we look at the H4, even on a higher time frame, we were in an uptrend, and in this case we caught the retracement. You see how important it is to look at the market in multiple time frames, because if I had only looked at the H4, I never would have been able to make this entry. Instead, by scaling down the time frame on a smaller time frame like H1, I got the right confirmations I needed to go short and to see things that I wouldn't have noticed on H4. Leave a follow to stay updated with all the upcoming training, give a like if you found the video helpful, and leave a comment to let me know what you think.